How you all doing? How you doing? Just want to talk about infiltration over invasion, and I want to explain how the government and everything, when we say they're full of paedophiles, they're literally full of paedophiles. People find it hard to believe. I want to explain how and why and how this infiltration works. Because what they've decided to do is infiltrate us in every aspect of our lives rather than invade us or be blatantly obvious what they're doing. They've done this over a long period of time and done it slowly. So we'll just get the first thing off. So when the new people waking up to everything that's going on, when we say the government is full of fucking paedophiles, we're correct. And I'll explain why and how. Because I know a lot of you think, oh, well, you lot are just conspiracy theorists. You're talking shit. Government, paedophile, fuck off. And that's your naivety. And I get it. Because we were all at that stage at one point. We were all at that stage. If you don't know anything about Epstein, who Epstein is and what went on with Epstein's Island, you need to look into that. And also, while you're on that subject, look into Hugh Hefner and the Playboy Mansion and what went on there. And even more so, what you're all starting to see now in the public view, in the mainstream, is about P. Diddy and what he was up to. It was no different to what Hugh Hefner was up to in the Playboy Mansion, and no different to what was going on Epstein's Island. And basically, what it is, it's a blackmail, paedophilic ring. Now, this doesn't just affect fucking government. It affects Hollywood. Your false idols, all your celebrities. When we say such and such is a paedophile, and he does this, and he does that, and she does this, and she does that, it's because they fucking do. The one key element you have to take into account here is the very fact that unless they have blackmail on you in any way, shape or form, you will not make it in the music industry, as a film star, as a TV, say someone on TV. I'm not saying everyone on TV, but I'm just on about your main idols, your false idols. It's all about worshipping money as well. They have to have you worshipping money, because if they didn't have you worshipping money, the celebrities wouldn't be who they are. Which is why we say don't follow the false idols. And this is what I'm saying. So what they basically do, they'll have key figures like P. Diddy, like Hugh Hefner, like fucking Epstein, and they'll be elevated, put into a position where he's in the limelight all the time and made famous, surrounded by famous people, royals, film stars, music people, like singers and stuff, which are all elevated as well. But there'll be one in particular, one certain person that will be like a handler for all the others. And what this handler will do is they'll have like a property, and it'll be full of fucking hidden cameras. And I'm not even saying that all of these people are definitely paedophiles. There's some that probably aren't. And I'll explain that in a minute, but the majority are. So what they do is they'll get these people around, all these so-called celebrities, and they'll have like a party. And in that party, everyone will be taking drugs and drinking heavily. And some of the drinks get, spiked. Once they're in these parties, some of them are completely at free will, mind, don't get me wrong. It's not everyone. They're not like, there's a lot more guilty than there is innocent. But they'll procure them with young girls, or in lewd acts, with sex workers and stuff. Humiliation acts of sexual content. And all this will be videoed. And it'll be on camera. And they'll use that to blackmail certain celebrities, certain politicians, certain royal, whoever it is. They'll use that very thing to blackmail them. Hold on a minute, 2 secs. Fucking thing. They'll use that blackmail video they'll put them in a position and use them as an influencer to influence a narrative, a direction they want to steer the public, to promote something they want to install with us, to get us to think, act, feel, speak how they want us to think, act, feel and speak. And this is how it works. Now when I say some of them might be innocent, they could have been, just say they're not playing ball, or they've got the inkling that these people, or a certain one of these celebrities, isn't going to be up for their dirty shit. They could get a spiked drink, and then they'll send them into a room, followed by a young girl or something. It only takes a split second to take a short video clip or a photo. As simply as a young girl walking in, this certain person could have gone, no, none of this, you know what I'm saying? But within that short period of time that girl's in there, that girl could have been ordered to get undressed, to get naked in front of the so-called celebrity or influencer or whoever it is, right? It only takes a split second to get a photograph or a short bit of video. And that's them. Got by the bollocks. They've got them by the bollocks then. They can do what the fuck they want. And then they'll put them in a position of power like Parliament, judges, they're just as involved, top police officers. It's all to do with Freemasonry as well, it's all involved. This is one of their things they do. And they'll put these types of people in every position of power in our life, so they can control them. So what they say goes, and they tell us what they do, what we're to do, like. And that's why we say it's full of paedophiles. Government's corrupt. It's full of paedophiles. It's full of Roggans. That's why this whole system's fucked. Because it's run by people behind the curtain. It really is. Run by people behind the curtain, a bit like Wizard of Oz. And what you're seeing right now is that curtain, that veil being lifted, and these people being exposed. It's your so-say influencers, your celebrities, your musicians, your singers, it's your TV stars, all your influencers. If you haven't been signed into this club, or they haven't got any fucking blackmail on you, you ain't making it in life. That's why we all struggle. Because you have to be in the club in order to get ahead. Otherwise the club wouldn't be that special for them all. And that's a fucking fact. So when we say the fucking government and all these celebrities are fucking paedophiles, it's because most of them fucking are. And they're being controlled, they're being blackmailed. Do you know what I'm saying? And that's how it works. That's what happens. It's a shit show. And it's all coming out. I think P. Diddy's going to be like the lead-in. But that's what we mean. And that's what it is. So it's not so surreal or unbelievable if you actually stop and think about what I've just said. See, what you see on the TV is what they want you to see. What you hear on the TV and the radio is what they want you to hear and see on the TV and radio. And nothing more and nothing less. The same people that do this, if they can control the media, which they do, or just say you don't believe they control the media, right? If they can control all these celebrities and politicians and royals, and what, you're telling me they can't control the fucking TVs? Can't control the news? You gotta wake up. We ain't fucking mental, us lot. We see clearer than any of you guys. And that's become a fact from just this whole thing that they done to us in 2020. I mean, look what happened. We were told we were going to die and stuff. Us ones that didn't do the thing or the other things, you know, or that. We were told we were going to die. And that you lot were going to live. We were going to die. It's 4 years on. I'm healthy as fuck. I ain't had a snivel. But it seems like everyone that done that and done as they're told and listened to the TV, the radio and the government, you're all banging trouble at the minute, ain't ya? Let's have it right. Let's just be honest about it. A lot of you are ill, and even then, you believe what they tell you. They say it's long COVID. No, let's have it right. Think about it. Use your brains, right? Think about it. When did all your problems start? With your health? I mean, a lot of people had underlying health issues anyway before all this shit show. But just say you didn't really have much underlying health issues, and all of a sudden, over the last 4 years, or 3 years, or 2 years, when did all that start? Think about it. What happened? What changed in your life? What did you do differently all of a sudden that's now changed your life completely, as in health-wise? Right, so we've covered all this in the last video, but anyway, let's get on to a little bit about infiltration. Now, because we're in a psychological war, an informational war, a spiritual war, fifth generational warfare, irregular warfare. It's not bombs and bullets and guns this time. It's the battle of the mind. That's what's going on right now, and has been for the last 4 years. It's the battle of the mind. They're fighting to control us. They need to set a narrative like they did in 2020, and we need to, and they want us to believe it, and we need to fight against it. So what people like myself do, and this citizen journalism, we call it, alternative media, we fight against that narrative and try and educate people with research, truth and facts, which is what we do. That's all we do. We don't go out and fight on the streets, fight with guns or bullets, but we are fighting a war. Every one of us that have stood up to this bullshit since 2020. Now, because there's always an opposing party, there's always an opposition, let's just say, the people doing this to us are going to need to come against the people like us that are dissenting against them, dissenting against the tyranny, standing up to the lies, the nonsense, to all the other stuff, you know, like this is what we do. None of us are paid to do it. Everyone done it because we got woken up to it. Some people have been awake to this shit for 30 years, 40 years, you know. But because we're an opposition to the narrative, to the enemy, you know, and the mainstream media is a big part of that enemy. You shouldn't believe anything you read in the newspaper or see on TV. It's owned by the very people we're fighting against. That's another fact. Look it up. Look it up. They fucking own everything. They've been controlling us our whole lives. This is what's going on. This is how big it is. They've been controlling us our whole lives, and now we're just finding out the truth. Over the last 4 years, they've not been able to hide it this time. But because we're going up against these people, and there's a big movement of us, we're massive, millions and millions of us, but you won't see that on your newspaper, you won't see that on your TV, and that's why. Because the enemy owns it. They don't want you knowing about us, what we say, the information we put out there. Because if you know what we know, there's no more fight. It's over. It is that fucking simple. The only reason they're trying to still seed narratives is because they're convincing you, not us. They're trying to convince you, the ones that are still asleep to this, the ones that don't know this information, don't know what we're talking about. All that stuff you're seeing is to control you. Because the minute you're not controlled, they've got nothing. It's game over. I'm not even joking. It's only because of you, they've still got fight in them. And this is a fact. I'm not having a dig at anyone. This is a fact. Without you, they've lost. Their biggest fear is humanity waking up to what they've been doing to us all our lives. It's their biggest fear. And that's happening right now. That's what's going on. Now, because we're dissenting and growing in numbers around the world, and it is around the world, stop focusing on what's just going on in England. Every country is going through this same shit. Every country has its same people fighting back. Every same country has the same people still asleep that we're trying to wake up to this. And you need to wake up. And once you do wake up, it's over. It all stops. But because there's people like myself, they have to pay. Paid oppositions, we call them. Infiltrators. Like they've infiltrated all our economy, our governments and businesses and TV and media. They infiltrate the movement. And there's paid actors that come in. And you should be very, very aware of some of the tactics they use to get you on side and make you follow them. Be careful who you follow. Seriously, be careful who you follow. Be careful who you listen to. You need to question everything and everyone. But what they'll do is they'll come in. They normally use a bit of a sob story, make you feel sorry for them. Some of these infiltrators do, get you on board. Sometimes they'll just tell you what you want to hear. Stuff that and these people aren't stupid. Especially the people paying them to do their job. They get orders to follow, and that's what they do. But some of these people will tell you 80% truth. They'll tell you exactly what you want to hear. Exactly what you're looking into. They'll say the same things as you, and you'll think, yeah, I've met someone that's on the same page, and da-da-da-da-da-da. And this is how they do it. And they'll tell you 80% truth, get you on board, get your confidence, or make you feel sorry for them, and then they'll start slipping in the bullshit, the nonsense stuff. The stuff that makes us all sound like we're fucking idiots, like we are the conspiracy theorists. And this is their tactic. Remember, it's a psychological act. It's psychological warfare. And this is how they fucking do it. This is how they control the narrative, control you guys, not us. You guys, not us. It's by playing with your emotions. They'll put it out on TV, certain videos, certain fucking speeches, certain influencers, certain celebrities. And it's all stuff to keep you guessing, keep you confused, keep us divided. Because divided they win, together we win. Unity. That's why we keep saying we need to unite. We need to get all the people that were going against each other in 2020, like during the shit show at the 2020 thing, we had the people that had that, and we had the people that wouldn't have that. And that was another divide tactic. They used the word conspiracy theorist to help divide us, put us into two categories: man against woman, fucking children against parents, straight against gays. And we won't even get into the LGBT thing, because that's just another fucking story altogether. In fact, I'll do a video on that. In fact, I will mention something at the end of this one about it. Just a couple of key points. But it's these guys will infiltrate the fuck out of us, and the people doing this to us will cause as much divide as they can to keep us all from finding out who the real enemy is, who we should be looking at. And that's half our battle. Because once we all know who the real enemy is, and the mainstream media is part of that, it all stops. So be wary of these infiltrators in this truth movement. That you've got to remember, they come across like they're one of us. They'll be your best mate. They'll be fucking reporting back to their handlers. They'll be gathering evidence on you. Same with these protests and stuff. When all these big protests, they try and push these in London. They're gathering intel. They're using facial recognition cameras to see who's there. They're seeing who's the loudest, who knows too much and is speaking too much truth. And then what they'll do is very similar to what they've done to me over the last 4 years, is assassinate your character, attack your business. They'll basically hit you in your pocket to try and ruin your life. They basically say it cuts your legs off. So they'll hit you with your career or your job. They'll assassinate your character. discredit everything you say or do. And that's how they get to you. And they do it to the biggest and the loudest. The ones that are saying all the right things. All the right things for us, but not all the right things for them. And that's just how they do it. That's part of their tactics. It's far bigger than any of us. It is. It really is. But we need to come together. Now, from what I'm hearing, there's a meeting next month with the WHO. And it's all about taking over our sovereignty. Basically, what the WHO wants to do now is they want to have say over what happens during global pandemics. If you notice, we've heard stuff about, I won't say the names of it, but you know what I'm on about, what happened in 2020. There's that, and now there's this talk of this disease X. And they're already planting the seeds. It's going to be 100 times worse than Novid. You know, they're already dropping the stuff now to do with the influenza, with the animals, jumping from birds to cows to people. A bit similar to what they've done in 2020. But what I'm hearing is there's a meeting, and it's not being talked about on the mainstream media, it's not being talked about on TV, it's all done behind closed doors. And basically what they're going to try and do is take all our rights. So the next time something like what happened in 2020 happens, guess who has control of what happens? The WHO, the WHO. They will have control of what's meant to happen. No, just because they got that, it doesn't mean nothing. Nobody has authority over us, remember that. And if you want to know why you have no authority over you, go and watch some of my previous videos on YouTube. I'm on Aaron Walton Outdoors, and obviously my Telegram channel is We the People Worldwide. If you type in @WeThePeopleWW, it will come up my channel, or go to Aaron Walton Outdoors on Telegram, on YouTube. Sorry, go into my bio, and there's links to all my social media in there. Take you straight to everything you want to see. There's stuff on Telegram I can't talk. Stuff on Telegram that I can't talk about on here on YouTube. But yeah, they've got no right to take your rights or to control us. So obviously that's going on next month, this meeting with the WHO. They're trying to take sovereignty over all of us in case there's another, you know what I mean. And now all of a sudden we're hearing, they're starting the dripping of the seeds. They're planting the seeds. They're going to try and use fear again like they did in 2020 to scare people to fucking death, to lock down, shut their businesses and stuff. And we're going to be looking at that roughly about the summer, because they're going to need time to ramp up the propaganda, using the media, using the news, the TV, the newspapers, the radios, and the celebrities. Because their celebrities and stuff have got something on them. They're being blackmailed, or they're involved because they want to be involved. So come summer, we could be looking at another one. I think we are going to be looking at another one, what happened in 2020. But what needs to happen? What needs to happen this time round is we don't need to divide. We don't need to listen. You all seen what I done. I didn't fucking listen to one thing of it. I actually went against the grain with every fucking one of them. With the government, with the councils, with the police, and the fucking judges in the courts. Stood up to 3 different judges in 3 different fucking courts. Oh, sorry, 3 different courts. Yeah, Swansea, Cardiff, and Bristol. I've stood up to judges. You don't have to listen to it. None of it's law, none of it's acts, statutes, or legislation, none of them are law. And none of it can even be made law. That's a fact. But what we all need to do now, on this time when it happens, and it's going to happen, is we all need to stand together, speak up. None more of this divide bullshit. You're going to get some of them that are just going to lap it all up like they fucking always do. You know? But the majority of us aren't going to listen this time. They're going to find it hard to push it out again. They really are. But it's going to take us to fucking stand up and really do something about it this time. And if we do that, I guarantee you, they'll shut it all down. It'll all be over and done with. Like I say, the minute we all stand up together It's game over. Stop letting them divide us. Stop letting them hurt us. Stop letting them fucking put poison in our food. Stop letting them put poison in our bodies, you know, in our water. Stop letting them do it to us, because they've got no power, they've got no authority. They can't do fuck all if we don't allow them to, and it's us that allow them to. So like I'm saying, there is fucking millions of us on a global level, around the world, in every country. There is millions of people like me. There's also millions of people like you people just waking up. It's just a matter of time. But this time we have to unite. We have to stand together. If you haven't learned anything over the last 4 years, I don't know what else to say, because some of you must be beyond help. But we really have to do this. If we really want all this shit to stop, we've got to come together. Whether you've had that or not, whether you agree with me or not, whether we like each other or not, it doesn't fucking matter. We don't have to like each other. We all just have to do the same thing and be on the same page and all stand up individually together. Just say no. That's all you have to do, is say no. All you have to do is look into some stuff, research some stuff. And when you're researching, stay away from Google. Don't look for facts on Facebook or Instagram, because fact checkers don't know any fucking facts, and that's a fact. You have to start thinking for yourself, become a critical thinker, start researching. This economy, it's going to crash. It's all going to go to shit. And it needs to, because it is shit. It's a slave system we're all locked into. But there is going to be a better system in place when all this is over. A system that benefits us, the people. It's going to take a long time to heal and to get over, but it is going to start getting better next year. But only if we fucking come together and get this shit done. I can't fall for it again, guys. I really can't. Anyway, I'm going to cut this off. Anyway, I'll just give you a little thing. When we also talk about a satanic slave system, these guys are Satanists. They really fucking are. They really fucking are. And you can tell that. And do you know how you can tell that? With just some of their agendas they push out. Now, I've got nothing against gays. I've got nothing against anyone that's fell victim. And I'm going to say this cautionally. I've got nothing against anyone that's trans either, on a personal note. And I fucking mean that, because I believe you fell victim to a narrative and to an agenda. And that's a fact. It doesn't matter to me what sexuality you are. It doesn't matter to me whether you're gay, whether you're black, white, Chinese. It doesn't matter what religion, what creed, colour, or fucking any of that nonsense. We're all people. And we're all equal as far as I'm concerned. Every fucking one of us, we're all equal. And we all bleed the same colour. But I tell you how this LGBT thing is part of their agenda, and how we prove it's down to Satanism. If you look at some of these fucking, like Baal, they're genderless. If you look at how they talk about stuff like about Satanism and stuff, it's all they, them. It's never fucking male or female. And it's all linked in together. That's part of their agenda. They're trying to confuse the fuck out of everyone. They're trying to get rid of history. They're trying to hurt God in every way, shape or form. This is why they attack the children, because the children are the closest thing to God. And this is why they're so big on abortion. Because Satanists like to sacrifice children. And I'll tell you this for a fact, look into it. An abortion is the ultimate sacrifice. The womb is the ultimate place to sacrifice someone. It's the ultimate temple. And it hurts God. They're trying to hurt us, they're trying to hurt God, they're trying to hurt the children. Because the planet, at the minute, it's been run by evil. And I said in the last video, a centuries-old death cult. This is what I'm talking about. Satanism. worshippers. They have to attack God. And the greatest trick the devil ever pulled was convincing everyone he wasn't real. And why did he do that, you ask? Why would he convince? So if you say there's worshippers, why would they try and convince you that he's not real? Can anyone answer that? I'll tell you why. Because if you don't believe Satan is real and he is real, masquerading as light, if you don't believe he's real, you also won't believe God, that God's real. If you believe the devil's real, you have to believe that God's real. And I've got news for you guys. God wins. Anyway, people, I'm going to go. Sorry, it's a bit of a long one, but I just felt it needs to be careful of the infiltration. Be careful who you follow. There is fucking paedophiles throughout Hollywood, the movies, the music industry, and the government and the royals. There's paedophilia everywhere. This is why they've always had shorter sentences when they're in trouble than your standard criminal does. Look about it. Look it up. Think about it. And then we got all these divide tactics, these agendas. And start looking up, people. I've got to mention that as well. Start looking up. Every time there's a bit of sunshine, blue sky, start looking up. They're trying to block the sun out. And I guarantee you, what starts off as a blue day starts off as a cloudy day, like today. Again, like yesterday. There'll probably be rain the day after that as well. You've got to start noticing patterns. Anyway, I'm fucking going. I'll see you on the next fucking episode. And be cautious, but look out for another thing like 2020. Around maybe end of May, June, July-ish time. They've got to do it and get this all in order and in place before November. Take care, people. Much love to you all. And please, start coming together. Start uniting. Start researching. Start thinking. Much love to you all. Ta-da.